Hello, welcome to practice. My name is Katrina, if we haven't met in real life before. Hello, I'm so glad to have you here sharing this virtual space for our virtual practice. I would recommend that if you can, grab something that can resemble a yoga block or two. Two would be better if you can. I've heard of people using big books, people using paint cans was a new one I heard today. I think that probably a big can of tomatoes would work too. Just something that you can kind of lift the floor up a little bit to you for a couple of poses just in case you need them. But if you don't have anything, don't worry, we'll make it work totally fine. Also, in that same vein, if you have really sensitive knees, I would recommend having either like a folded up blanket like this or a towel or even just a big pillow can work just to pad the knees just so that you're more comfortable because, you know, why not? Might as well make you more comfortable if you have all the stuff in your home that you can gather. So grab your stuff and then come have a seat and we'll get started. So today, I really wanted to focus on this idea of trying to find the balance between strength and vulnerability. Strength and vulnerability. So vulnerable, even just saying that word. Because I think either one can be harmful if you go too far in one or the other directions. If you're too strong, that maybe could translate into being too closed off or unable to feel or unable to find connection. So that would be like one side, and you can interpret it in many different ways, but that's just how I interpret it. And then on the other side, I think it's really easy to maybe be a little bit too open or a little bit too porous or just a little bit too vulnerable, and finding the balance there I think is really important, and I think that this physical practice really lends itself to trying to find that. So today in our bodies I'm going to actually use the terms effort and ease, and we'll try to find the balance between those two places, between strength, vulnerability, effort, and ease, and hopefully we'll try to feel good on the other side of this practice. So please feel free to modify any poses that you need to. If you're not sure how to modify it for yourself to make it feel better, I would just skip it so that you don't end up, feeling worse on the other side of this, because ultimately we want to feel better. So with that being said, make sure you're sitting comfortably. You can sit on a pillow if you want, if you have something and you want to grab it. And then just bring your hands together in front of your heart. You can rest your thumbs onto your chest and close your eyes. And just allow your attention to turn inwards, to take stock of how you're doing today, to what's true inside. Trying to relax a little bit more, find a little bit more ease through the shoulders and the face. Feeling the strength and the support of your pelvis as it supports your whole spine. Feeling the imagery of your pelvis being like the pod for a potted plant. And then your spine all the way up through your head kind of grows, flowers up away from that. Just coming into center, feeling your hands gently gathering energy in, gathering it to you. We'll act as support as we move through practice together today. Now let's just enjoy one big breath here. You can do it with me. Please exhale to set up. And we'll take a big breath in. Big exhale. Gently bowing your chin to your chest. You can release your hands and then blink your eyes open. All right, so we'll start today in hands and knees. So come into tabletop. Feel your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your outer shoulders. You can point your toes or tuck your toes, whatever feels best for you, but just try to feel that your feet have a little activation down into the floor either way. And then we'll move through cat and cow. So inhale, look forward, reach your tailbone back. And then as you exhale, you can push the floor away and round your spine, but start small. And this first 2 or 3 can be really gentle. Just moving with your breath. maybe a little bit bigger. Going at your own pace, your own pattern. And then begin to move in other ways, just whatever feels good. Free form. And then once that feels complete, just pause in the center and we'll reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Oh yeah, just reach the top arm up. Feel just a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. So you feel almost like the back comes together so you can move your heart through. And then you can look down if that feels better for your neck, or as your neck feels more free, maybe look side or even up towards your thumb, maybe up-ish. And then lower that side. Really anchor your left hand down to reach your right arm up. And you can feel a little squeeze between the shoulder blades so that your chest moves more forward. You can look down, you can look side, or you can look up-ish, whatever feels best for your neck. And breathe here. And then gently lowering down. And we'll make our way to downward facing dog. A little longer stance. Tuck your toes. And then once you're in downward dog, you can pedal through your feet a little bit or shift your hips. Just try to stay strong in your shoulders and your arms as you find more freedom, more movement in the legs, in the hips. And then come to stillness. You can find a little bend to your knees so you can really reach your tailbone up behind you. And then let's inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows to lower down to the floor. You can put your knees down first for a smoother landing. Point your toes and do a little cobra. Shoulders up, push your hands down. Inhale here. And then exhale, lower down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, little cobra. Shoulders up, then chest, ears lean back. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time. Shoulders up, chest up. Push your feet into the floor. And then release back, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Strong arms. Press up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more time. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. Knees first if you want. Point your toes and do cobra. Maybe a little higher this time if it feels okay for your back. Exhale to lower. It's like doing a push-up so your arms resist. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. 1 last time, cobra. And then stay here, strong belly. Tuck your toes. Coil up to plank pose. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out, push through your arms. Soft knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet to the front of your mat. And once you get there, you put a little space between your feet, a little bend in your knees, then lean forward into your toes and let your belly touch your thighs. So bend your knees as much as you need to so that happens. Drop long through the back of the neck and just let anything that's unwanted, unneeded spill out through the top of your head onto the floor. So like any thoughts you don't want, any feelings you don't want right now, just let them go. And just practice this art of letting it go. 1 more breath here. And then we'll inhale to rise all the way up. Stretch your arms up, push your feet down. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hands down to the floor, soft knees. Once you get there, 1 halfway lift. Slide your hands up, look forward, lean forward. And then hands down to the floor. We'll step back with our left leg and put the back knee on the ground. So grab your padding if you want it for under your knee. And then bring your hands up onto your front thigh and lift your chest. Okay, so you can feel a little drop in the tailbone down. So that place is strong. You feel like you're not letting your back go into like an accidental back bend. Tailbone down, glutes down. And then stretch your arms up overhead. Put your palms towards each other. And reach your elbows as straight as they'll go. Strongly feeling tailbone down to the floor. And then see if you can find some ease in your shoulders, some ease in your breath as it moves into the back body. Okay, then we'll move with the breath here. So inhale here. And then exhale, like you're pulling down a bar, bend your elbows out to the side and twist your chest to the right. Inhale to come back up, look forward right where you started. Exhale, pull your elbows down like you're resisting through the air, and then inhale to come back up. 2 more. Twist. Inhale up. The legs hold, the hips hold, but it's just the waist, the belly button spinning to the side. And then inhale to come up. Bring both hands down to the floor inside your leg and wiggle your right foot out to the side. You can turn your toes on a little diagonal out and then lean forward. You can be on fingertips, you can be on your blocks or your soup cans and get a little bit of more space there if you need. Let's keep the back toes tucked underneath and just a little bit lean your hips to the left. So the same direction as your back leg, and then lift your chest and look slightly forward. So you feel an imaginary diagonal line from your left knee out through the top of your head. Good. Breathing here in this little lizard lunge. Maybe activate your front foot by pressing down and dragging back. 3, 2, 1, and then gently walk it back. Bring both knees together. So you're in tabletop again. And then we'll kickstand the right toes out to the side and come into the side plank variation on your right knee. So your left arm will go up. And your back foot can be pretty flat to the floor as long as that feels okay for your ankle. And the toes point in the same direction as your heart and your eyes. Really push down and forward into your front hand like you're trying to slide it out in front of you, and let your hips lift and breathe into the stretch in the top left side. Stay here as option 1 or lift your legs so it's parallel to the ground. Stretch here, breathe here. Find the combo of effort, of ease, of strength, and then of softness across your chest as you very gently twist your heart towards the ceiling, just a little bit. Stay here or turn your top palm forward, reach it low by your ear, last 2 breaths. Straight line parallel to the floor from your arm through your chest to your foot. And then gently lower it down, readjust and make your way into downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathe out, feel the difference between your sides. And then we'll even it out. So soft knees, look forward, walk, or if you'd like to, hop your feet to the front of your mat with a little float. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Stretch the arms up high. And then exhale, arms down by your sides. Exhale all the way. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, fold forward over soft knees. 1 halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor and step back with your right leg. Bring your back knee down onto your mat, onto your padding, and then lift your chest up. Find strength in the legs first. Feel that you're really anchoring in, but then that tailbone goes down, and then you can stretch the arms up overhead. And then breathe here. Get established in it. If you're feeling really wobbly and like this just is not holding for you, just bring your hand to a wall or to a couch or to whatever you can find that's near you. And we'll stay strong in the lower body. Inhale here. And then twist to the left. Slide your elbows down. Inhale, arms go up, look forward. Rotating around your spine, exhale. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, arms go up. And then bring both hands down inside of your leg. Wiggle your left foot to the side and turn your toes out. And then lean forward enough so you feel the idea of a diagonal line from your back knee out through the back of your head. So it's not diving forward this way, but it has that sense of lifting up, which is why you might like to do it on some props. Lean forward. And then maybe feel like your front heel is dragging back. And I give you a little bit more of that launch forward. Just a little bit. Lean your hips to your right. And then breathe here. Gently ease it back. Move your props to the side and then come into tabletop. Adjust as you need to, and then you'll bring your left leg kickstand behind and come into your side plank. Right arm up, right foot flat to the floor and toes pointed in the same direction as your chest. And then push your front hand down and forward. You might get a little more stretch into that top side. Now stay here as option 1 or option 2. Lift your back leg off the ground. Keep your toes pointed straight ahead, and then try to notice where you feel strong, where you feel effort, and then where can you add in maybe a little bit more ease. Last 2 breaths, turn your palm forward, reach your arm low by your ear. Feeling a little twist of the chest towards the sky, big lengthening from side to side. And then we'll gently bring it down, back to downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, push through the arms, feel the strength there, and then the softness as your heels descend towards the floor without your legs straightening. All right, let's inhale, come forward into plank pose, and then exhale, lower down all the way to your belly. Fly your arms back by your sides for a locust. Engage your belly. That's where the effort is here. Tailbone reaches down, and then shoulders lift, thighs lift, everything else lifts off the ground. Don't worry about going super high here. Just see if you can feel, yes, there's plenty of effort. There's also some ease in the back of the neck, in the fronts of the shoulders, in your breath. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower down, turn your head to one side and close your eyes. And just totally rest for a moment. Maybe rock your hips from side to side and just breathe. And then we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Take your time. Send it back. All right, we'll take a step forward with the right leg and then quarter turn to your left, or in some way face towards me is great. And then come into a wide leg stance, wide leg forward fold. Soften your knees quite a bit so you can really let your chest go. Really let it fold in and down. And I'm feeling like that energy can pour out through the top of your head, those unneeded things. Spill forward, lean forward, a little more weight into your toes, and then let go of something in your low back. Find ease there. Last breath. And then we'll find a big inhale, come all the way up to stand. Sweep your arms out and up like we always do. Push your legs straight, big reach, and then exhale, arms down by your sides. Okay, you might want to have a block handy for this. We're going to set up side angle pose to start. So turn your right toes out, bend the knee, and bring your block outside your leg. So you might want to put your hand onto the block, or you might skip that. That might still be a little too far for you. You can bring the elbow onto the knee, or if you don't have a block, that works too. See if you can really anchor your back foot down, really drill it into the floor, and then the top arm swings low. Similar to what we just did on the floor, but a little bit different. See if you can feel the thighs reaching away from each other. And like if your belly button was a light, it's not going just straight side, but it's a little bit twisting up on a diagonal that way. Maybe stay here, maybe the hand comes down outside the leg, push your leg out into your arm. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, keep the leg there and reverse. Right palm up, sweep back. Try to keep that deep bend in the front knee. Wide out to the right. And then big inhale to come up, straighten the leg, turn the toes in, and we'll do both those poses to the other side. So turn your left toes out, bend the knee. You can either bring your hand to the block right away or start in this supported form, and then the top arm goes low. Feeling that little spin of the belly button up. Just a little bit. So it's not going to go all the way up towards the sky, obviously, but just a little diagonal up. Kind of activates the belly. Turns the stretch more into the front body.
And then maybe bring the hand outside the leg. If you have it there, you can push your leg out into your arm and try to feel where is efforting and where is there ease. So we're not over efforting, but also not falling asleep here. Stay strong in the legs. Inhale to come up, turn the front palm up, sweep it back. Big reach back. Try to keep that depthy bend in the front knee and then stretchy up top. Big reach through the arm. And big inhale to come up, straighten the leg, turn the toes in. We're going to interlace the hands at the low back, so I'll turn sideways. You can stay as you are. Interlace your hands at your low back so your palms come together. If that doesn't happen for you easily, you can put like a strap between your hands or a bathrobe strap, or just keep your hands separate and bring your hands to the floor. So we're going to fold forward again. Again, if this is too much for your shoulders, hands to the earth is a great place to be. I'll just come back here again. It's totally awesome. Try to lean a little bit more forward into your toes. Lift your shoulders off of your back if your arms are back. And then feel just a little bit your elbows pull apart from each other. It kind of really activates the front of the arm. So you get the effort there within the stretch. And then relax your head. It doesn't have to crunch in. Just let it dangle down. 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms out. Big stand. Push your legs straight. And then exhale. Release your arms down. All right, keep your legs as they are. We're going to set up into triangle. So right toes out. Grab your block outside your leg. And find first, make sure that the left toes are really straight ahead. They're not at all out to the side. Take a big reach through the arms. Breathe in. Push your feet down. Feel the effort in the legs. And then lean forward. Almost spill forward into triangle. If you don't have a block or something to put your hand on, you can just bring your hand onto your thigh, but just think like really light fingertips. Oh, it's not your thigh, your shin. Really light fingertips, so you're not pushing into it at all. It's just grazing. Find your breath here. You can look down, you can look side, you can look up. And see if you can really split the body. So the legs, effort down. And the chest leans away from the hips. And the ease of the breath floods in. Stay here, top arm, palm forward, reach the arm low. Same. Little spin of the belly button, more up. Extend from that plant pod of the hips. You're growing now straight side. A little shifted reality. And then soften the front knee. Inhale to come up. Turn your right toes in. Left toes out. And we'll do triangle on the second side. Reaching out. Extend strong legs. Strong chest as you lean to the side. You can always bend the front knee a little bit to take some of that edge off. If you're getting really tight into the back of the legs, it's a great option to try. And you feel just how steady can you be in your legs and how much ease can you find in your breath, in your neck, and in your shoulders. And then turn your palm forward, reach it over your ear. Splitting from your hips, press down, and from your waist, stretch out. Feeling like your breath could touch every place in your body. Breathe in. Breathing out. And then big inhale to come up all the way up to stand. Wiggle your feet all the way together. I'm going to step them together. And then bring your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers like you're about to do crunches, but we won't. And then I'm just going to turn sideways. But see if you can feel tailbone down, that same action. And then as it kind of eases down, get strong in the belly to support. So you feel like the whole abdominal wall gets stronger just by coming back like a ½ inch. So it's not about sucking the belly in, but just about activating it. So you feel from your ribs all the way down to your pelvis that this area is really strong and stable. Okay, so you're going to hold that, lift your shoulders up, and then lean your head back. You know, imagine this image of sunbathing. It's a rainy day here in South Philly. I'm just trying to imagine the sun, the warmth on the skin, staying strong in the front body, but then trying to find some ease in the neck here, ease in the low back. And then inhale to come all the way up, stretch your arms up, and then come to the front of your space, wherever that is, a little space between your feet. Big breath in, stretch the arms high. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, place your hands and then either go straight back to downward dog or come into plank pose. When joining vinyasa, lowering all the way down, point your toes, cobra or upward facing dog if you love that one. And then releasing back, downward facing dog. Smooth out your breath here. This is your resting place, so if you need to rest instead on your belly or in child's pose, go for it. No big deal. Okay, let's inhale for the right leg to lift behind. Big stretch back. And then exhale, step your foot forward between your hands and come up into a high lunge. You get really steady in those legs and reach your arms up overhead. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with the back knee lifted. If you want to put the back knee down on the ground again, totally fine if you're feeling wobbly up here. So anchor the legs. Feel all 10 toes down into the floor. What happens if you push them down? What happens in the rest of the legs? And then think tailbone down, entire front wall of the abdominals strong. Inhale here. And then exhale like you're pulling a bar down, twist to the right. Woo! Inhale, come back up. Exhale to twist. Really keeping those hips level. So it's maybe not as big as you think that the movement will be. Just keep going. Two more. Really feel like you're wringing out a washcloth inside your torso. So it's really from that strength of that spin inside. And then inhale to come up. Lizard lunge. Bring both hands down to the floor. You can do this one with your back leg straight like this, or you can bring your elbows down, bring your knee down to the floor. That is also true that you can bring your elbows down to the ground or onto your props if the floor feels too far away. Maybe, the outside one's a little bit easier, so it might feel like you're at a little angle or you have one elbow down and the other hand down. Whatever works for you is where you'll be. Now lean your hips a little bit to the left. Check that your right foot is still flat to the floor. The toes can point out a little bit. And then see if you can find some ease somewhere. This is a stretchy pose. This is a strengthening pose. This is a sweaty pose. Where can you find ease? Is it in your breath? One more moment here. And then we'll gently make our way back to downward facing dog. You can come down to the knee to ease out of it if you need. It works for me to get the props out of the way. And then back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Hello, breathe in. Big sigh. And then other side. The left leg reaches up and back. Find a steady three-legged dog. And then exhale, step your foot forward between your hands and come up into your high lunge. Adjust your feet so they feel stable and then arms up. Press all of your toes down into the floor and feel that you're not letting the back bend happen here, but you're really dropping the tailbone down. Inhale here. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, spin around your spine. Yeah. 3 more. You don't have to go at my exact timing. You can move with your breath. 2 more. Finding some ease here. Last one. And then inhale, come up. Both hands down inside the leg to find your lizard shape. You can wiggle your left foot out, toes more out to the side, and then either do this on your hands, on your elbows, on your back toes, or back knee. I'll find some ease within it. Wherever you are, just a little bit, lean your hips to the right. Sway your hips to the right. And make sure that your left knee isn't going past the ankle and that your left heel is still on the floor. So you gotta go pretty long front to back with your legs. All right, last breath here. And then we'll make our way back, downward facing dog. Breathing fully. Exhale completely. One last joining vinyasa here. If you'd like, plank pose with the breath in. Feel free to skip and hang in downward dog or child's pose. Lower down, point the toes, cobra or upward facing dog. And then let's all meet in child's pose. You can bring your toes together, knees apart, rest your forehead on the ground, and just breathe for a moment. And just let your emotions, your sensations flow through you. All of the balances and imbalances, everything, let it just flow through you. And then we'll make our way back up onto tabletop. Okay, so we're back in tabletop. And we're going to come into our little kickstand again. Right leg, right toes out. And then come into this outside, the sole of the left foot, really. And then you reach the top arm up. Okay, so the options still stand. You can stay here, you can lift the leg, or you can reach the arm over. I'm going to add one more option, which is to bend the leg, reach. You can maybe catch the shin first and then slide the hand back. If you have that ankle, I keep the foot flexed for my knees, but you do what you need to do. See if you can point your knee straight behind you. Okay, this is a wobbly one, so see if you can find the strength of your right shoulder. And then some ease as you kick the foot behind you and you get a stretch into the quad. Less back bend, so feel front of the belly pulls back gently. And just a little bit, twist your chest up. 3, 2, 1. And then gently come back down. I'm going to switch to the other side this way so I can still face towards the screen. But you do with what you got to do in your space. So you come onto your left knee, left hand. Stay here as option 1. Just breathe here. There's so much good stuff here. Or you can lift the leg, or you can do this one. Or you can join me in the quad stretch. I like to bring the knee in front first. Hand to the knee and then it slides down. Flex or point the foot. Whatever feels best for you. And then point the knee behind you. Pull your belly back a bit so it gets really strong there to protect your low back. Then the leg can kick back, almost like bow pose. Lean your chest forward. Let it wobble, but find the ease. And then very gently release that side. And then come to lie on your back and take your time. Once you get down onto your back, just pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle, loving hug. Maybe rock a bit from side to side. And then we'll do one bridge pose here. So please place your feet flat to the floor. Toes pointing straight ahead. Bring your arms like a robot on either side of your body and then press down into your feet to lift your hips off the ground. Stay here. If your hands interlace when you reach behind them in that forward fold we did earlier, you can walk your shoulder blades together. Interlace your hands underneath your hips and then straighten your arms so your elbows and your wrists come down to the floor. Lift your chin a little bit for everybody so your neck is not touching the mat. And then feel heavy toes, full breath in, And out, exhale, release your hips down, go wider in your feet, knock your knees in, and place your hands to your belly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let something go. Settle into ease. And then we'll roll over to the side and come up to seated. All right, and let's do fire logs. Agni Samvasana. Let's cross the right ankle over top of the left knee. And then really flex the foot so the toes pull back towards the knee. Lean back onto your hands and notice what happens if you push into your hands and lift your chest, what happens in the stretch, where you start to feel it a little bit more or a little bit less. I'm going to give you lots of options here. So this is the first one. You can work here. We're just going for a stretch on the outside of the hip if you haven't picked up on that already. So you can stay here. This is option 1. Option 2 is to flex your left foot so the toes peel off the ground like a reverse gas pedal. That's option 2. Option 3 is to bring the bottom shin underneath. Keep both feet flexed as much as you can. I like this version. Bring your hands to the soles of your feet and then push your feet into your hands. Resist back with your hands. Just kind of creates a closed loop of energy that feels pretty nice in the hips, in my opinion. But if it doesn't work for you, you can bring your hands behind you, or you can even walk your hands out in front and fold forward. Wherever you are, try to feel both hips even into the floor, so you're not leaning to the left. And then please feel free to close your eyes. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Every breath, feeling a little bit more ease into those outer hips. I think you could drink in the ease. Breathe in the ease. And exhale, lean into it. Gently release that side. Open your eyes. We'll switch to the other leg. Right foot flat. Left leg over. Flex the foot. Sit tall is stage 1. You really push with those arms. It'll lift the chest and you get right into that outer hip. Or option 2, flex the right foot so your toes point up towards the ceiling. Or then we'll make our way into the stacking of the fire logs. Trying to sit evenly onto both hips. If you would like to do it on the first side, you can try it on the side too. Flex your feet, everyone, and then press your hands into the soles of your feet. And just push your hands and your feet into each other. Stay tall in your spine. And then breathe. Bring ease to your hips. Going to keep the flex of the feet strong to protect the knees. So your knees don't go over vulnerable. They don't go over ease. They stay strong. As we play the edge of the balance here. This constant negotiation. And then gently release that side. And then place both feet flat to the floor. Lean back on your hands behind you. And you can go kind of wide with your feet and then just do a little rock side to side of the knees. And if you really let your hips be heavy, you might feel like you get a little massage across your hips and across your glutes from the floor. Otherwise, you're just doing a little twist side to side, just whatever free-form, little twisting variation feels good for you. If you'd rather lie down and do this, you can do it like that too. And then we'll make our way to lying all the way on our backs. One more time, pull your knees into your chest. Let your head drop onto the floor. You can hold on behind your knees or in front, whatever feels best. But see if you can go wider with your knees. So it's kind of like malasana, like a little squat. So the knees go out to the side. And then maybe you rock a little side to side, or you shift a bit, or maybe one leg goes a little straighter and the other leg goes a little straighter. Just whatever feels nice here. Maybe making all the way to a happy baby this way. And the same thing happens side to side. Just get a little massage from the floor. Maybe straighten one leg and the other. And then get whatever final moves or poses you'd like before we make our way into Shavasana, into our closing pose for practice. Stretch your legs out in front. Feel free to cover up with a blanket or put a pillow behind your knees. And then let your arms rest out to the side. And close your eyes. Just take a moment to notice where in the body it might still be efforting as we move towards ease. We move towards this vulnerable place. The palms up, the belly open, soft in the throat and the face. Just acknowledging any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that are coming up. Just let them go through you, almost like a boat through the rapids. You just let it go and through you. We'll stay here for another minute or so, but if you'd like a longer Shavasana, please feel free to pause the video and come back to it when you feel like your Shavasana is complete. Smooth breath, soft thoughts, and your body become heavier and heavier, falling more into ease. This floor is a hammock that can catch you and hold you. Just gently begin to breathe a little deeper. Moving your fingers and your toes a little bit. Maybe stretch your arms overhead. Get a big full body stretch, big yawn. And then please roll to one side, or you can make a pillow with your arm. Just close your eyes for a moment and lay here, cozy on your side. Just breathe here and take a moment to acknowledge all of that effort, all of that presence, all the efforts of the body, but also the efforts of the mind, the awareness of the alignment, of the structure, and then how it makes you feel. And as you acknowledge the effort, you can also acknowledge the moments of ease, the moments of softness, of vulnerability, that balance that out, the moments of connectedness. And then once you feel like you've kind of absorbed that, you use your hands to press yourself up to a seated position. And close your eyes again, bring your hands together in front of your heart. This gesture of hands in front of the heart, I feel, is a beautiful kind of interpretation of this concept. So see if you can feel your fingertips lightly touch and your heels of your hands lightly touch, but your palms can come a little bit apart.
So your hands make a little flower bud or like teardrop shape. So you have this amount of effort, the effort it takes to keep your arms here and your fingertips touching. Then you hold the knowledge, the awareness of that ease between the space, in that space between your hands. Holding both things to be true. Searching for balance. This endless pendulum swing, one way to the other. We find ourselves in the middle. To thank yourself for practice, for this space that's held you, and those that practice alongside you in spirit. Let's close by breathing together one more time. Please inhale. And let it go. Please gently bow your chin to your chest. Release your hands and open your eyes. All right. From the bottom of my heart to yours, thank you so much for sharing practice with me in this virtual space and those that practiced with you in this virtual space. If you are interested in more Nava classes, we're posting more every day, and they're in this format. If you have any feedback or any thoughts or suggestions, reach out to Nava or reach out directly to me. I'm looking for new Instagram friends because I'm just like on Instagram so much these days. So my name is Katkinn. If you want to reach out, and we can become virtual friends that way, or if you have any questions specific to the practice, any requests or thoughts, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.